This is a one-speaker meeting. Please welcome our speaker tonight, Danny T.
My name is Danny. I'm an alcoholic.
Hi, Danny.
And now on a serious note, I don't know. I'm really glad somebody called me today and reminded me that I was speaking, because I don't write anything down. Nothing. I write nothing down. You know, and I say yes. I'm one of the most irresponsible people on the program of Alcoholics Anonymous, and it's been that way for almost 39 years now, and I really kind of take pride in it. You know? I love to watch people write shit down. Oh, yes, okay, 10:30, absolutely. I'm the most impatient person in the world. My wife was dealing with this car dealer. You know, we were buying a car, yes. And it's really expensive, brand new, blah, 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 blah. It's got everything, and I went, hey, the key works. And that's it. I got here totally insane. And for some of you, I don't mean the kind of insanity that you're sitting in a meeting and you go, oh, I think I'm going insane. I don't mean that. Pow, pow, pow. I mean that kind, the crazy, the totally. I left Vacaville in 1967. Vacaville was a state mental hospital for the criminally insane. I went from there to San Quentin. From San Quentin, I went to Folsom. From Folsom, I went back to Vacaville, and then I went to Soledad. I got out of Soledad August 23rd, 1969. Wow, I forgot about that. I am really crazy. You know what I mean? Shit. Vacaville is like the state mental hospital for the criminally insane. They're crackers up there. Totally. And I was walking around that place asking people, what am I doing here? I just get loaded and get drunk. And I had a lot of problems with Alcoholics Anonymous. So you're going to have to understand, it's like, this wasn't like my first trip. You know, it's like the first time I got here was 1959. And people used to talk about slips like if they were cute. You know? Had a slip on Thursday. But thank God I made it to the Friday morning meeting. I had a slip in 59. I got out in 62. Had another little slip, 62, got out, 65. Another little slip, 65, got out the end of 69. So I realized that, like, all slips are not created equal. You know? Some of you guys can go out and come back. Now, I break out in penitentiaries. It doesn't matter where I'm at. It's like, it's they're trouble. So I realized, wait a minute, I am this kind of alcoholic. Do you understand? I am an alcoholic that they talk about. It's that once I take a drink, I can no longer guarantee my actions, any kind of way. Any kind of way. I had an uncle that turned me on to grass when I was about 8 years old. That same uncle gave me a fix when I was about 12. I started drinking heavily at the age of about 12 and a half, 13. And so in Alcoholics Anonymous, when people would talk about, it was weird, they talked about all the things they had. I had a car, a boat, a cabin in Mammoth. And I was drinking scotch. And from scotch, I went to bourbon. I think that's a step down. I don't know. I have no idea. From bourbon, I was drinking beer. I lost all my material wealth, and I ended up drinking wine. And I tried to figure out, what are they saying? And someone else would get up and talk about, it's like, can you top this? I drank for 35 years. What? I had a car, a boat, a cabin in Mammoth. I was drinking scotch. From scotch, I went to bourbon. From bourbon, I went to beer. Lost all my material wealth. I ended up drinking wine in the morning in an alley. That's where I ended up. And everybody go, oh, I'd go, here, I started drinking wine in the morning in an alley. Sissy, when it got too tough for you, I started. And literally, I started drinking wine 12 and a half years old in an alley behind Dale's Market on the corner of Osborne and Laurel Canyon in Pacoima. We ran in, stole 2 bottles of wine, and ran out. And that's where it started. And wine did absolutely everything it was supposed to do. It made me 2 inches taller. So now I'm like 5'4". Man, giant of a man. Arms were bigger, you know what I mean? And my neighborhood used to fight this other neighborhood. The only problem was we all shared the same school. And so before wine, I would look at these guys and they looked big. For some reason, these guys looked bigger than my gang. But hey, what do you say? Let's drink some Tokay. You drink that wine, and you become very verbal. You're not afraid. You say the smartest things like, hey, if you're looking for your mother, she's back there. I'm done with her. And this wine, it's like, whoa. I would go on their side of the A9 court. I don't know, what's the A9? A9 court was the place where all the seniors in junior high school stood. I don't know. But I would go on their side because all of a sudden I was one bad mother. And when you got in a fight on wine, you were drunk and you got like kicked in the eye, you realize I just got kicked in my eye. Now, it didn't hurt, but you realize I got kicked in my eye. But now you add some pills to that mixture. Hey, did you see me block that kick with my eye? 14 stitches, General Hot. Don't even hurt. First thing you ask a doctor, you got anything for pain? Didn't even feel my eye get kicked in. You know? And that was me. That's all I did. I drank every chance I could. I used drugs every chance I could. That mixture sends you to jail. I went to jail every chance I could. Oh, ridiculous. This is ridiculous. You know? And Alcoholics Anonymous, 1959. Man. God, some of you weren't even born then. You know? And I knew about this program. See? And the worst thing in the world, let me tell you, the worst feeling in the world is a body full of drugs and alcohol and a mind full of Alcoholics Anonymous. The worst thing in the world. You get absolutely no peace whatsoever. I don't care. I don't care how drunk you are. I don't care how loaded you are. You start having hallucinations like you're in a meeting. That's like... I love the coke addict. I love people on crack and all that, because they start having hallucinations like when they open that curtain, they're like praying outside. Keep coming back. This program will absolutely ruin your drinking and using completely. In 59, I hate saying that, man. I was given the curse of Alcoholics Anonymous. In 1959, this guy in the meeting. And we had crashed this meeting. We didn't even know it was a meeting. Kicked in the front door and rushed in, and the first thing we saw was a big sign that said, "We care." You know? We actually crashed a meeting of Alcoholics Anonymous. I had a case of beer, 3 bottles of wine, half pint of whiskey, and I was already loaded on them pills and Red Devils. And, you know, the guys did that divide and conquer and separated us, and this guy comes up to me and says, "Why don't you put that stuff outside and join us?" I got a case of beer. Are you crazy? And he says, "Danny, if you leave this program, you will die, go insane, or go to jail." Now, that was the curse of Alcoholics Anonymous. I heard it then, and you heard it now. See, you should have did what I should have did. When that guy whispered that curse, I just went, "Oh, I can't hear you." Didn't do it. And neither did you. Now, you might forget everybody in this room. You will not forget me, whether you like me or not. Never. The guy that, I cannot tell you who was in that room, but I can describe the guy that said, "Danny, if you leave this program, you will die, go insane, go to jail." I can describe that guy to a T. And it's amazing, but from now on, that curse is going to follow. If you're driving down Sepulveda and you know you're drunk, or you've dropped some paraphernalia in the car, bam, when those lights go on, you watch. You'll see it. It goes, "Die, go insane, go to jail. Die, go insane, go to jail. Die, go insane, go to jail." It's like they're telling you, they're giving you the whole game. Hey, if you leave, you are going to die, go insane, or go to jail. That's the ticket around here. That's all there is. There is no other alternative. 39 years I have been waiting for somebody to call me up and tell me that it's okay. Really, somebody leave this program. 5 years later, they call me up and say, "Hey, Dan, yeah, no, it's me. Yeah, no, I'm in Cabo. Oh, life's great. Hey, Dan, my kids all love me. They adore, I got them all Christmas presents. Yeah. My wife can't keep her hands off me. She loves me. Yeah. Yeah, no, hey, life is beautiful. Wait, if somebody ever died, I might go. Nobody. And I'm talking 39 years. Nobody has called me up and said, "Hey, life." I get phone calls. They usually start out with, I get calls from little kids. My mommy stabbed my daddy, and we need somebody to pick us up. Whoa! So I got to go pick up some kids. See? I get those calls like, "No, I threw him out. To hell with him. Yeah, he got drunk." No one's ever called me up with good news. Nobody. You know what I mean? I've been waiting, watching. I watch people. I love newcomers. I ask them, every newcomer that goes out, when they come back, come here. What happened? I want to know. See, I want to know. First thing I found out, nobody in 39 years, now listen to this, nobody in 39 years has ever gone out working this program. Nobody. Did you hear me? Nobody. Because I ask them, "What step were you working just before you went out?" Nobody has ever said, I was on step 3, getting ready to do step 4, Dan, walked outside, God struck me low. No one's ever said that. I kind of got away from the book. Stay close to the book. I did. Come here. What meetings were you going to just before? Because I want somebody to tell me, "Danny, I was going to this meeting, that meeting, this meeting, and they were awful. And God struck me loaded when I walked out of them." If anybody ever says, "Well, okay, that's it. I'm not going to that meeting, that meeting, that meeting." It's so weird. People always tell me, "Well, Danny, the meetings got too social." Come here. I got 2 meetings for you. They're really unsocial. One's in Folsom, one's in San Quentin. Go. Unsocial son of a bitch. Because we're not really like social people. Do you understand? I mean, all that dancing on top of the table when we're drunk and taking off our clothes, that wasn't social. That was the drunk insanity, see? By ourselves. We're those people that show up at it. No, wait, let me unwind. Let me unwind. And then, half a pint later, I'm unwound. I got here insane. You understand? I got here just nuts. And they promised me if I stayed clean and sober, my life would get progressively better. And I had a tough time. I remember my sponsors, I kept getting arguments with people and fighting with. And I said, man, what's wrong? I'm trying to do everything. And this guy named Sam Hardy, big hillbilly, man. Always had that shit in his mouth. What's wrong with me, Sam? I'll never forget it. Well, Denny, what's wrong with you? You're not a nice person. And your problem is double. See, because you're not only not a nice person, you don't even look like a nice person. So you can't fool nobody. And I said, well, what do I do? He says, you have to start doing things for other people and not expect any kind of reward. And he said it like that, like a hillbilly, reward. If he would have said reward, I could have forgotten it, right? But who's going to forget reward? And I'm walking around trying to figure out how you be a nice person, all right? And I couldn't figure it out. I'd ask people, hey, dummy, you need some help? And people I didn't seem to get along with people very well. And then I told Sam I'm having trouble. He says, well, now you got to do things for other people and not even let them know. And that's like stupid. That means like I can't even get credit. Some guy named Todd would get credit. Oh no, that guy Kid Todd did it. I wouldn't. And so I actually started taking out the garbage cans, the neighbors, my mom's neighbors, the old people. Because you got to remember, this is 1970. This is before they had those rolly kind of, that big old pans. So I remember taking this garbage can out, and I remember telling this lady, walking up to this lady, and she screamed out, "Ay, no me roba!" Don't rob me. And I'm shut up. I took her trash cans out, and that's what I started doing. So I just started doing. And it seems like everything good that has happened to me has happened as a direct result of helping someone else. Everything. My entire time in Alcoholics Anonymous, everything good that has happened to me has happened as a direct result of helping someone else. And that goes from, I started a business. Me and this kid named Danny Levitoff, we started a gardening business. And we didn't even have a lawnmower. But we said, we'd knock on people's, I had Danny, because Danny was just kind of more, he was a little more presentable, Danny Levitoff. And kid was insane, though. He was doing robberies, and he was robbing Jack-in-the-Boxes. And he was walking down Ventura Boulevard. He just did a robbery. I love him because he had stashed the gun, but he forgot to take the ski mask off. Loaded, so that's my kind of guy. But we started this gardening business, and there used to be this lady in my neighborhood that everybody used to call the witch lady, and we would mow her lawn, just mow it for free. It was just mow it. And my mom actually was the one that told me to She said, look at me, go mow her lawn. And so we went and we'd mow her lawn, just mowed it. And she'd look at us. She'd look at us through the... She couldn't come out because witches burn up during the day. And that was what we're doing. We're mowing her lawn. Once a week we go by and mow her lawn. Once a week we go by. And then one day this guy shows up, right? And he goes, hey, what are you charging her? You know, nothing. She's just a crazy old lady. You know. I said, well, come on over. I want you guys to look at my yard. So we looked at this guy's yard, and he kind of told us, well, I want you to do this and this and this and this and this. And cool. And then he took us to the garage, and he opened up the garage door, and he did all this gardening. We didn't even have a lawnmower. Do you understand? We didn't have a lawnmower. We used to knock on people and ask them, and they'd say yes. We said, do you have a lawnmower? And we'd mow it. This guy gave us all this equipment if we would do his yard for free. I was, damn. You want me to come over and do your back too, pal? So everything good that has happened to me has happened as a direct result of helping someone else. In 1985, I spoke at a Cocaine's Anonymous meeting. And now you got to remember, in 1985, Cocaine's Anonymous was just kind of getting started. It started at the end of 83. So in 85, there was still like all the therapists and all the doctors. They were still all going there. You know, all those... Oh! We might need rehab. You know, those guys. It didn't look... Cocaine's Anonymous didn't look the way it does now. You know what I mean? It looked a lot different. So I was over at this at Cedars, a meeting at Cedars, and I talked. And afterwards, this kid came up to me, and he asked me for my phone number. And he was talking about how he'd hit the bottom, and I didn't like him because he looked like just a little rich brat, you know. And he's talking about I really hit the bottom. And I'm looking at a $3,000 Rolex Imperial, the real one, the one that goes like that. Not the one that goes like that. You know? And I had an obsession to like grab this kid by the lips, drag him outside and take his watch and say, now you're on the bottom. But you got to remember this program, the bottom's where you find it. See, we're the ones that make up the bottom. We're the ones that oh, well, there's a Valley bottom and a Brentwood bottom. And, you know, just the bottom's where you find it, man. I give this kid my phone number, and he tells me he's got 8 days clean. And he said, my dad gave me back my car. So 8 days, I wanted to stab him. My dad didn't talk to me for 7 years. I come out of the joint, he didn't talk to me for 7 years. And he said, my dad's getting me an apartment if I stay clean. And I wanted to stab him again. I mean, who's your dad, man? And 100 days later, this kid calls me up. You know, he'd been talking to me, calls me up, and says, Danny, I think I'm going to use. And I says, what? He says, I feel like using. And I just remember, this is the Rolex kid, you know what I mean? And I said, well, why don't you come on over? He says, I can't, I'm working. I'm working. It's 11 o'clock at night. I'm working. Can you please come down and just hang out? And then he did that thing that my daughter does every time she wants money. She says that little... Can't stand it. Can't stand it. Imagine my daughter got her new car. Like, okay. And oh God, because that always makes me remember all the people that helped me. See, and I got the address. I went down. Now, for you people that don't believe in God or higher power, that remember that all this is a coincidence. But I walk on this 12-step call, and I'm thinking it's going to be like a regular 12-step. I'm going to sit out in the parking lot. He's going to come out on break. We're going to drink coffee, smoke cigarettes. After break, he's going to go back inside. Everybody's going to think we're gay. And instead, I walk onto a movie set of a movie called Runaway Train about prisoners, ex-convicts. Hello, I've been there, done that. You know what I mean? Coincidence, I walk in, right? And I'm standing there, I'm looking around, and everybody's got these fake tattoos on, and they're like so cute, and I'm going, oh, I'm sorry, it's shit smeared. This guy comes up and asks me, do you want to be in this movie? And I said, what do I got to do? He said, do you want to be an extra? I said, extra what? He says, can you act like a convict? I'll give it a shot. I couldn't believe it. You know? Another coincidence. I can act like a convict. You know? They give me blue pants, those blue state pants. I wear them well. I do. I put them on. And I just look good in them. I hate to say it. They give me a shirt. I have that huge tattoo on my chest. Coincidence. It don't smear. And my tattoo states, this guy has been in prison. This is not, he doesn't love America, and it's not his mother, and it's not the American flag. It's a penitentiary tattoo. This guy goes, wait a minute. He goes like, I'll never forget, he goes like this. I'm trying to figure out what stupid neighborhood is that? Tells me to leave my shirt on. I'm walking around, I got my shirt on. I got all these tattoos, and this other guy walks over. Another unbelievable coincidence. This guy walks over and says, hey, you're Danny Trejo. I says, yeah. He says, Danny, I saw you win the lightweight and the welterweight title up in San Quentin. I says, you're Eddie Bunker. I know you were a writer. He goes, yeah. What are you doing here, Eddie? He said, I wrote the screenplay. Unbelievable coincidence. I says, he says, do you want a job? I said, I got one. They're going to give me $50 for acting like a convict. He said, no, we need somebody to train one of the actors how to box. Coincidence, I box. Coincidence, whoa. I said, what's it pay? He says, $320 a day. I said, how bad you want this guy beat up, Holmes? Damn. I'd have done it for $50. He said, no, you got to be real careful because this actor's a little high-strung. He might sock you. Please, $320, give him a stick. Shit. I started training an actor named Eric Roberts how to box for a movie called Runaway Train, John Voight and Eric Roberts. And Eric was scared of me, so he'd do whatever I told him to do. The director, a guy named Andrei Kozlowski, this Russian guy, just loved the fact that I had all these tattoos. He would constantly come to me, you be in movie. And then he'd kiss me. He'd like, I'd never been with like a European guy. This guy would come up every night. He'd come, you come tomorrow, you work with it. And then he'd go. So I told Eddie right off, look, Eddie, he can have them, for $320, he can have them 2 kisses. But if we're going any further, he's coming up with some more bread. I worked. First movie I'd ever worked on. I worked almost 3.5 weeks on a daily. Some of you know what that means, man. We were working 16, 17. It's unbelievable. They gave me a check that the government took out more money than I ever made in a robbery. The government took out more money than I ever made in a drug deal. I couldn't, in fact, I made so much money that the minute I looked at that check, I split, I'm gone. And as we go, I'm cashing this before they realize they screwed up. From that day to right now, I've done over 162 movies. Trying to help that kid launched a new career. Everything good that has ever happened to me has happened as a direct result of helping someone else. Everything. Do you understand? And it's like, I watch people. I watch people on the program. I see how their lives are going. I can tell. You got that scowl on your face. It's like, oh, I'm worried about my problems. The only time my life gets better is when I worry about yours. That's it, honest to God. The only time my life gets better is when I try to help you, period. It's like, but you have to understand, some of us really have problems that need to be dealt with. Yeah, I know. No, I do. I know. Believe me. The depth of the shit that I got to go. You know what? I got to tell you this. I've gone through, I had about 8 of my best friends pass away in the past 2 years. Guys that I've known since the 60s, right? A couple of them on the program of Sponsy. And I thought I had a heart attack. It was strange. One night, it was a Wednesday, and I started, I couldn't breathe. But I just kind of like sat on my bed and went through it. Don't ask me why. You know what I mean? And went through it, finally fell asleep from exhaustion, woke up the next morning, same way. Thursday night, my daughter walked into my room and said, "Dad, what's wrong?" I was pale and nothing. Took me to the emergency hospital. And they did all these tests and stuff and said, yeah, have the beginning stages of emphysema or something, I don't know. And I was fine. And 2 weeks later, boom, same thing. Hit me again. Went back to the emergency hospital, drove myself. Couldn't breathe. This doctor looked at me and said, "Oh, you're having an anxiety attack." I looked at him and said, "Bitch! I give people anxiety attacks." I couldn't believe it. I got angry with it. Now how manly is an anxiety attack? Obviously you didn't see Con Air. This doctor that I didn't even know, you know what he asked me? He says, "When's the last time you talked to your sponsor?" About a year. Wow. And then my sponsor has a Monday meeting over in Long Beach big group, Johnny Harris. I went over there, and he said, "Hey, where you been?" And he started talking. He says, "Call me every day for 30 days. I got 39 years. Do you understand? Give me some ninja kind of shit. That's baby newcomer stuff." It's amazing, though, the stuff that I did in my first 30, 60, 90 days still works. I've been calling my sponsor every day. Every day. "Hey, what's up? I haven't had an anxiety attack, And that stuff's real. Don't get me wrong. Please don't. That stuff's real. Go see your doctor, do all that shit. I'm just telling you, for me, man, it's like, I just got to talk to my sponsor. I talk to him, say, "What's up? How you doing?" Blah, 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 blah. Get rid of my stuff. But what happens to some of us when we get a few years? I got 39 years. Come on, anybody that does anything for 39 years, you should be like a ninja warrior. It's not just, I should be like, if I was a plumber for 39 years, I should be like, pipe wrench. Come on, 39, plumber's tape. Be like down with that shit, see? The basics. And as long as we stick to the basics, see? And the bottom line to this program, please, man, the bottom line to this program is that if you leave, you will die, go insane, or go to jail. God bless you. Thank you.